apologize about the different setup, lack of, not the same, not up to Matt's usual standards. But listen, I got a message from one of our viewers here, Sharon Stockman, who's super nice, super amazing, and said, Matt, we need to talk cruises because I'm so excited about cruises restarting. And you know what? Thought to myself, she's right. Shannon Ford is here. Hello, Shannon. Shannon, are you going to be booking a cruise as well? I am so excited. I mean, today really is the news we've all been waiting for. It's the news that probably should come out on Wednesday. I digress. It's another story for another day. But big news today. Awesome news. Huge news. Cruises restarting. Already checking flights to Nassau. Shannon, I already booked my flights to Nassau. I went one step further. I couldn't help myself. I'm a crazy man. I speculated on flights. JetBlue. Dave Lucas. Good day, Mike. Missed talking to you yesterday. Hope you're well, my friend. Steve Hook. Yeah, great news. Jared, what's going on? Welcome, guys. Marion, hello. Britton just booked Royal Caribbean for next year. Fantastic. What did you book? Deb from Virginia is here. News about Canadian ports yet? I don't think so. I think kind of like the United States, it would be up to your government to open those up. But no, there's no update for me to share about Canada. If you're not aware, Royal Caribbean announced earlier today they will restart sailings in June on Adventure of the Seas, sailing from Nassau, Bahamas in June. So it's pretty darn epic, pretty exciting. Love that. And this is a major first step. This will be open to anybody, not just Americans. This is open to anybody who can get to the Bahamas. These cruises are available. Adults over 18 need to be vaccinated. Kids are allowed on board. They'll be tested, obviously. Nathan, what an unexpected surprise. I mean, today has just been like, there's been ever since the news broke this morning, my excitement level has been off. I've been like so nervous. I don't know what to do with myself. I can't like sit around and just like watch TV or whatnot. Nautical Nurse Nancy, your blog on this was super informative. Thank you. Well, thank you. Really appreciate that. I've been trying to cover every aspect of it. I think in the next couple of weeks, we're going to get a lot more information about that. Steve says, unfortunately, it makes it seem like U.S. Oh, it's open to everybody, Steve. I mean, there's no restrictions in terms of who can or cannot book it. Keith wants to know, so does this mean no test cruises? No, actually, not. It's independent of this. The test cruises and all that is still on the table. It's still waiting for that to occur. That's the big game. But in the meantime, Royal Caribbean worked out a deal here in Nassau. Do you know what protocols will be when you get back to the U.S.? For the U.S., Kathy, you have to, and this is true if you fly anywhere now internationally, you have to provide a positive, or I guess a negative test in order to rejoin the country, get back in the country. Dan, do you think that cruises from the U.S. will be suspended for the month of June? I heard that NCL won't have June cruises. You were correct about NCL, yes. What will happen in June? We don't know yet. Royal Caribbean has not said anything. I think, let me put it this way. Even if, the CDC lifts the conditional sail order or just provides the cruises with the ability to restart operations, I mean, there are going to be cancellations no matter what. The question is, will there be an opportunity for one of the ships to maybe move towards that? Stephanie McGettigan, so you have to show proof you were vaccinated to board the ship. Yes. So, this is my understanding of it. And keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, I'm learning this at the same pace you guys are. I wrote a lot of this down at realcaribbeanblog.com. But if you book one of these Adventure of the Seas cruises, you have to be vaccinated. That's number one. In addition, you'll have to get a negative test, a PCR test, that's up to 72 hours before your cruise to prove that obviously you're clear and you're able to go on the cruise. Hey, Brent, what's going on? Baby Emma? Not Baby Emma. She's not I know it's weird to call her Baby Emma, but yeah. So you get the negative test to get on board the ship. Those are the two primary requirements right there. Queensy, hoping our December 21 cruise goes off. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Me as well. I mean, I got a Grandeur of the Seas as well booked. Chuck says, because they moved the Adventure to Nassau, they canceled my transatlantic from Southampton. Yeah, I know. I mean, listen, let's be real. Let's be real about it. It almost certainly was not going to happen anyway. So the fact that this is happening just move things up. Hey, Christine Del Rossi. I love Christine. She is such a positive ray of light on Facebook. And trust me, we need all the positive rays of light we can get on Facebook. Always appreciate it. Joe Johnson, what's going on? Jane, what about Australia? Actually, I have an update about Australia on this week's podcast episode, Jane. There's nothing, don't worry, it's not breaking news or anything. But we talked about Australia cruises in Australia. What's going on with the government down there? Anyway, one of my good friends, Pippa, who runs Ocean Time here on YouTube, she and I talked on the Royal Caribbean Blog podcast all about that topic. Jared, what's the price range for the new cruises? There's no price range announced yet, so we don't know yet what those prices will look like. The new Adventure of the Seas cruises go on sale next week. So we probably won't know until then, but you never know. So hopefully we'll get more information as we go forward. I think a lot of this between even now and June is going to be a little bit of an organic process. Diane says, I love it. They said these cruises would have 2 stops at Perfect Day. I love that. Yes. Hey, Sherry is here. Hello, Sherry. Welcome. Awesome Sunsets. Welcome. Do you think, Elizabeth, I think your message got cut off there. Yeah, March 24th, sailings open up, Andrew. Thank you. Absolutely. Josh Taylor, weird. I thought today was a Monday when I saw this. I was saying at the very beginning of this, I've been all day, I've been doing this. Pinch myself. And I've just been so excited. I just needed an outlet to hang out with you guys and talk. And shout out to Sharon Stockman, who you guys know very, very well, right here on YouTube. She sent me an email. She's like, Matt, I'm so excited. We need to talk cruises. And at first I was like, yeah, I mean, that's what Monday's for, right? And then I was like, you know what? YOLO chat, right? YOLO talk it. I mean, at the end of the day. Elizabeth, do you think Oasis will cruise from Bayonne in June? I really don't know, Elizabeth. Unfortunately, we just don't know. It's a good question. I wish I had any insight, but there's just not enough information and too many variables still. Kathy, any word when sailing in the U.S.? Unfortunately not. No. There is good news, and I just saw this come across the wire, so I've not done any digging, but it looks like the Biden administration announced that they will be relaxing travel restrictions beginning in mid-May. I have no idea if that will apply to cruises at all. So, Jim wants to know, can you use your phone in Wi-Fi mode using airplane mode if you have an internet package? Absolutely yes, Jim, and that's the way to do it. No question about it. Yes. So you can definitely do that, and it's the way to do it. It's the best strategy. If you're using your phone on a cruise ship, put it in as soon as you're done getting on the ship, calling your friends and family, put it in airplane mode. Beachy Mom, I saw Sherry's video this morning and I let out a little scream of excitement at work. I love that. I talked a little bit today to Sherry, because we're cruising besties, and everyone's excited, but I think we're all excited about there. What will the stops be from LA from Navigator? I believe it's going to be Mazatlan, Puerto Vallarta, and there's another one I never remember the name of, but there's another one over there. Maybe Ensenada as well. I don't think Catalina Island is on there, but on that note, little teaser for you guys. We'll be doing a podcast with me and Sherry talking about those cruises over in the West Coast and what to do with those itineraries. Nancy, do you know if they have the Royal Caribbean app up and running in Adventure of the Seas? They do, yes. Cabo. Thank you, Josh. That's what I was thinking of. Yeah, Cabo. Thinking of Marion as well. You would think Cabo would be an easy one to remember, but I always think of Mazatlan first and then Puerto Vallarta because that's an easy name to remember. But for some reason, Cabo always goes right over my head. So, yep. And I believe Ensenada is also part of it for like the short sailings. I have to look at it. But next week we're going to talk on the Royal Caribbean Blog podcast all about those itineraries. I've never been there. I know nothing about that Mexican Riviera. I don't know. You guys probably know more than I do. So, when is the Navigator going to LA event? Next summer 2022. She'll be over there. Remember, guys, when that was the big news of the week? Man, time flies in between Monday and now. Or Wednesday now. How is it to get to the Bahamas? There are a lot of flight options. I actually already booked my flight down there. I'm guessing on the cruise I'm going on, but JetBlue flies to Nassau. There's a direct flight from Orlando back and forth. Yeah, I know. I've heard that about Ensenada Queen T. But there are direct flights. There's a lot of flights. JetBlue flies to Nassau for sure. American Airlines flies there. So there's a fair amount of flights. It's not like flying to New York by any means, but you should be able to find something. It shouldn't be too much work. I think it's a lot easier than, say, Barbados to get to. So there are flights there. Julie, I thought you had said that those California cruises were posted, but I couldn't find them. Oh, no, I'm sorry for the confusion, Julie. So they announced it, but they're not available to book yet. You got to wait till the end of the month. I forget the exact date. Those sailings will go on sale. So they're not available to book yet. That's why you're not missing anything. And Julie, I apologize for miscommunicating that aspect of it. They're not available yet. So they will be, just not yet. Also, for our friends, I saw Dave Lucas is in here, and anyone from Australia. New summer 2022 Australia itineraries are out as well. Sherry said Catalina is on the shorter itineraries for Navigator. See, this is why Sherry's like the expert in all this stuff. So, but thank you. It's exciting. I'd love to be able to explore the West Coast. Hey, Tony Diaz, what's going on, man? Welcome. So here's my question for you guys in chat. Type in chat me, M-E, capital letters, if you're going to be, you think, there's a good chance you'll be booking an Adventure of the Seas cruise out of Nassau. I want to know what if anyone else is playing. You don't have to, you're not married to this idea, but you think there's a better than 50-50 shot at you booking one of these. Yeah, I know what day it is. I know today's not Friday and Monday. Today is Friday, but yeah. Gary Miola, what's up, Gary? You know what, guys? Isn't it great that there's like not just a ray of hope? It's like somebody opened up the sunroof and the sunlight is pouring in finally, right? Yeah, Dave says I would be if I was able to book it out of the country. All right, Dave, I'm gonna get one of these I'll get someone to smuggle you out of the country. They'll put you in a giant Foster's beer can, but it'll be empty, just you in there. Couple bags of chips, some magazines, and then you'll arrive in LA at some point. I'm not sure. All right, we'll get you there. Hashtag save Dave Lucas. Queen, all your vacation time is already booked up. Jason, I would, but too far away for a last minute trip. Well, don't forget the cruises will be from June through August. Did I get that right? September, October, something like that. So you got a couple months. It's not just the month of June. Oh, Steve Cohen says Southwest Coast of Nassau as well. Nice. Charles Turner, it's all about those LA cruises. Yes. I'm excited for, the new cruises out of LA are going to be amazing. Tony D has a lot of insiders walking around with big smiles on their faces today. Brother, you couldn't be more right about that. It is so great to see that. I'm surprised. And listen, you guys know I'm a terrible predictor of things, right? I always tell people, I don't know anything. And when I woke up this morning, I had zero idea that we were going to be getting cruises out there. Hey, Adam O'Brien from Ireland, welcome. Beachy Mom would have to convince the husband. Hey, it's you're the wife. You got all the power in the world. It's easy for that. Group cruise out of LA. I'm not sure, Marion. And I'd like to. Don't get me wrong. And there's so many great group cruise ideas. Hey, speaking of which, there's Pippa from Ocean Time. Good day, Mike. Just talking about you, Pippa, and the fact you're on this week's podcast episode talking about Australia. So, am I booked, mate? I'm not, mate. Not yet, anyway. But I booked my flights, Pippa. I've never been so excited to book airfare. Tiffany, what about Mariner of the Seas? Yeah, it's kind of a weird one, isn't it? What is up with that? I mean, they redeployed Mariner to the same place. It's kind of weird. I don't know what to make of that, quite frankly. I've been really thinking about that a lot, except for today. So today I woke, as I was saying earlier, so Celebrity announced YOLO bucket theory. You're absolutely right. So I woke up this morning and obviously Celebrity announced first, and I was like, dude, I'm going to book a celebrity cruise, my first one. And then an hour later, I was like, nope, I'm booking Royal Adventure of the Seas. Ship I've never been on. So, hey, Damien, what's going on, man? Good to see you. Welcome. Glad to have you here. Gigi, I knew you would be on tonight. I'm so excited. Will you booking a Bahamas cruise? Heck yes, absolutely. I'm going to be hitting that refresh key. I've had my travel agent working on it. I'm doing everything. I'm gonna be on I-4 in the highway, panning with a sign, need Bahamas cruise. Will work for Bahamas. I'll do whatever it takes to get on there. Now, Adventure of the Seas is the same class. It's a Voyager class ship. So same class as Mariner, Navigator, Explorer. Am I vaccinated yet? I am not. That's my next thing, Gigi. I went from I'll get my vaccine eventually, whenever I get an appointment, to now I'm signing up for all the vaccine notification applications. And yeah, I gotta work that out. I'm pretty confident that will not be a problem, but because things are moving very fast now here in Florida, so I feel like there will be a good opportunity for it. They had just lowered the age in the county I live to 40. Believe it or not, I am not 40 years old. I'm very close to it, but not 40 yet. So it's me and the teenagers waiting for our vaccines. Hey, Daryl, got your first shot today. That's fantastic, brother. So glad to hear that, Daryl. I'm very jealous because that means you're closer. Because, obviously, as you guys know, there's a bit of a time game here. For Adventure goes sailing in mid-June. So I've got to work the math out there. But anyway, I have a good feeling I'll be able to work it out. Sorry, where's Adventure sailing from? Florida or Nassau? Nassau, Bahamas. Can Matt say group cruise now? On which ship? Not yet. I know where you're going with this, Tony. But we're really getting close, man. I mean, listen, I told you guys, beginning of this year, I had a good feeling I will be on at least one ship this year. Now that's not even a question anymore. So, yeah, Pippa, any nationality. Listen, Pippa, I've already arranged to smuggle Dave Lucas out of the country. If you want in, there's another can of Giant Foster's beer I can smuggle you in on, all right? Just let me know. I'm joking for anyone who doesn't know that. Lorelei is booked on Navigator in October. First cruise, nice. Nathan says, sorry, Nathan, I missed your question. I can't wait to see the cruises announced out of the U.S. Barbados, Bahamas, and St. Martin, not subject to the CDC. It's a good start, man. You know, absolutely. So, Carlene, I'm going to Independence. I'm going to Coco Key in Nassau and Independence in December. Oh, it's amazing, but you're gonna love Coco Key. So, Brittany got your second shot on April 2nd. Oh, you're getting your second shot. I'm like, wait a minute, it's not April yet. Awesome, Brittany. That's fantastic news. Midge is ready, fully vaccinated. Mark the Shark, what's going on? Suzuki, what about you cruising in Israel? I can't. It's only available to residents of Israel, not just citizens, but residents. So, yeah, it's okay. This is now with Nassau. I'm less hard pressed to fly across the world for that one. Roberto, can he smuggle me from Canada in a bottle of maple syrup? I'll have to talk to my smuggler friends on that one. Listen, Pippa's always at the top of my priority list, and Dave Lucas is a great guy, but we'll see what I can do for you, brother. CR says, so they're announcing the port of embarkation debarkation will be in the Bahamas for June. Correct. Nassau, Bahamas, beginning mid-June. I believe June 12th is theoretically the first cruise, and those new sailings will go on sale next week. So, hey, Stephanie, you're getting yours next Saturday. Fantastic. Broderick says, just send Stephanie to Australia and dispense with the beer can idea. You know, the beer can idea is so great because not only does he get Dave Lucas out of the country, but Dave hates Foster's beer. So he'd have no choice but to become a huge fan of it right now. Do you know if Adventure of the Seas will have an age limit? No, Sarah. Kids are allowed on board. No age limit or no limit, no minimums. It's guests of all ages, as long as you're 18 years old and above and are fully vaccinated. So, Dennis, getting your second shot in 1 week, then you'll be ready. Fantastic. Valerie, what happens if a vaccinated person still tests positive on the ship? Great question, Valerie. So, first of all, shameless plug coming in 3, 2, 1. I have a new blog post at royalcaribbeanblog.com all about that. But essentially, there's different protocols. There's tiers, there's quarantine. Bottom line is, if you test positive for COVID on a cruise, you will get a full refund, and Royal Caribbean will take care of getting you back out there. So that's the good news. We have the full details, Valerie, about that at royalcaribbeanblog.com. So, hey, you got vaccinated in December, Gigi? Wow. Hey, Fred, what's going on, man? So what's new about Mariner? Why did they redeploy? I have no idea. I've been racking my brain about that, Fred, all week. I have no idea, Fred. If you can figure it out, you let me know. But I have no idea why they did it. But now, Fred, now it's like secondary because Adventure of the Seas restarting cruises. Love that. Tony, how fast do you think this cruise will sell out? I believe, especially the first couple sailings, are going to sell out incredibly fast. There's going to be limited capacity for social distancing. I think it's going to sell out extremely fast, Tony. It's going to be, if you're not on the ball, you're not getting on the cruise. At least not in the beginning. If you want to book like a cruise in July or August, I don't think that'll be a problem at all. So, Larry wants to know, how many days are the sailings from Nassau? 7 nights. 7 nights. Lorelei says, do you think the excursions from Nassau will change to include Atlantis things? Possibly. For what it's worth, I had heard that Celebrity said they will not, because everyone's vaccinated, they will not restrict shore excursions to only the cruise line. I don't know if that's true for Royal Caribbean. We'll have to see. Nico says, any word on Lelepa? No. Here's the reality. Or I don't want a reality, but here's the latest. Royal Caribbean has been quoted as saying the 2 projects, they had a lot of port projects. The 2 port projects that were going to be still a go-ahead are the new port in Galveston, Texas, and the new port project hotel thing, whatever you want to call it, in Freeport, Bahamas. Everything else, I think, is on hold until further notice. That includes Perfect Day Lelepa, the Royal Beach Club in Antigua, the Royal Beach Club in Nassau, a variety of other things. So, Tri-State Killer, what's up, man? Live stream on Friday. Brother, when there's big news, I can't help myself. I'm just too excited. I'm so excited, and I just can't hide it. Mike Pastore, great news today, brother. Yes. Carlene, you're getting your Johnson & Johnson tomorrow. Nice. Sari, did Royal Caribbean say what capacity they'll expect to sell on Adventure? No, not officially. I suspect it'll be around 50%, whether it's 40, 50, or 60. I don't think it'll be more than 60. I don't think it'll be less than 40. So we'll have to see. Joe, got your first jab, waiting on the second. UK still moving fairly quickly on the vaccines. Starting to believe I can cruise in August. Well, you've already got in the UK. I mean, you guys already announced, not Royal Caribbean, but other cruise lines have announced being able to restart in June, which is really good news for you guys over there. So, Gigi, do you think the rates will be high? I mean, it depends, I guess, on what you depend high. I don't think they're going to be astronomical. No, but rumors have made it that Mike Pastore, as an inside connection, already has a suite booked. If he does that and he doesn't tell me, we're not friends anymore. But I think Mike's a great guy. Always shares my blog posts. Great friend on our Zoom calls and social media. I think he would definitely let me know if he had any kind of hookup on that. Damien, what do you think the second ship from Royal will sell? Boy, do I have no idea, Damien. Because, again, if you asked me that yesterday, I never would have guessed Adventure out of Nassau. I'm a terrible, terrible guesser. So, Beachy Mama, have they said if masks will be required for fully vaccinated crews? Yes. Yes. I have a screenshot of them saying that on Twitter. It's on RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. The answer is yes. Cecilia, do you think there's going to be any test cruises before June? I hope so. I don't know one way or another. I don't think anyone really knows, but I certainly hope so. I think the way things are going right now, the answer is probably, but that's a guess on my part. I really don't know. Sir, any policy for these sailings with kids? Yes, kids are allowed. They'll be tested, but under 18 are allowed on Adventure of the Seas. Rick, how about Odyssey of the Seas? Odyssey will be sailing out of Israel beginning in June. And she'll be spending the summer over there before coming over here to Port Canaveral, theoretically, in the fall. So, Quincy, put those FCCs to use. Just make it rain with FCCs now. Love that. Yes. Waiting for them to officially cancel Alaska. I think a lot of people are. I mean, I'm surprised they haven't, quite frankly, but they're holding out hope on that one. So, Deborah got second shot a couple weeks ago and can't wait to go. Awesome. That is fantastic. Broderick, do you have any insight to Singapore allowing non-residents to book Quantum? No, I suspect that will be the Singaporean government would allow that or not allow. Because I don't think you can go, if you want to go to, I don't think I can go to Singapore, cruise or not, as an American, non-resident, non-citizen, right? But I could be wrong there, so. I agree, Mike. I hope the CDC gets on the ball soon as well. Absolutely, yeah. Chuck, can you combine FCCs? Yes, you can. The policy recently changed on that one. So Hangman says, my doctors have told me no to the shot right now due to my upcoming surgeries, so there'll be exceptions to mandated shots. There is an email, it's on the blog post at RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. There is a way you can contact Royal Caribbean and basically plead your case. I don't know how that works in your situation. I can't tell you one way or another. I certainly don't work for the cruise line. I don't have any insight. But there is a mechanism. There is a means to plead your case. I don't know what they'll tell you. They might say, hey, sorry, unfortunately it's not going to work out for you. Come back to us when you are vaccinated. They may give you, I really don't know, and I don't want to speak on their behalf or provide any kind of expectations for you. But there is, go to RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. There's an email and I believe a phone number as well that you can contact them about that kind of a concern. So, Tricycle, does this mean vaccines are not mandatory? No, vaccines are mandatory on 2 ships so far. The rest of the fleet, nothing's been announced. That would be Odyssey and now Adventure of the Seas. Brent said that FCCs are like gift cards right now. Right now they are, absolutely. Dave, they're talking about an Australia-Singapore travel bubble coming in coming months. That would be fantastic. Listen, I suspect, Dave, you and Pippa, we're booking those up like crazy. Thomas Stacy, do you believe Royal Caribbean will open up the 2022-2023 recently route sailings to have FCCs applied to them? I think so, Thomas. I think in general they want you to be able to use your FCCs. I just don't believe they're going to be sitting there like, sorry, you guys can't use it. I believe, call me crazy. I'm biased, Thomas. You know that. I'm a big fan. But I really do believe they'll allow you to do that. So Josh thinks that they will, if we make it to April 9th or 12th and nothing has happened, June will be canceled. You might be right on that. Don't know. Marion, is there a chance to change the lift and shift? My May 1 Greek island cruise canceled. Royal Caribbean told my travel agent only 2 cruises would be eligible, otherwise I have to pay more. So officially, Marion, lift and shift is not a thing. However, what has happened is when cruises are canceled, like your Greek Isle cruise is on Odyssey, right? I thought they were offering, at least for a limited time, for newly canceled cruises. Martha, is any word on pricing on the Bahamas cruise? No prices yet. Will pricing include flights? I don't believe so. I know that Celebrity is offering that, but not like a package deal, Marion. I could be wrong on that. We haven't, or Martha, I don't know, Marion. I'm sorry about that, Martha. I don't know that for certain, but I've not seen any prices or anything related to that yet. That could change, obviously, but Adriana, happy news indeed, yes. Sarah, when will Adventure go on sale? Next Thursday, the 24th, if I'm not mistaken. Next week. Hey, Kathy C is here. Kathy Constantine, hope you are well. If you never hear from me again, that's why. The basketball games. Yes, March Madness. I forgot that's a thing going on. Hope your team does well. Hope your bracket does well. So, Fred says, Mariner did change their December itinerary from Eastern to Western, maybe making room for other ships in the Bahamas. I don't know, man. It's a very odd change. That's all. Just usually when you get a redeployment, it moves to a different port or something like that. So, yeah. Brian, I'm with you on that, man. But listen, everyone's got different opinions on there. It is what it is. But I just am so excited that we've got cruises coming back. I can't wait. I'm so happy. This is finally what we've been waiting for. Will some of the cruises pass through Cozumel? Yes. The itineraries are fantastic. Have you guys looked at the itinerary? I mean, not the sailings, but like the ports that Royal Caribbean says they'll be visiting on Adventure of the Seas. Cozumel, Freeport, Bahamas, and not one, but 2 days. 2 days at Perfect Day at Coco Key. Back to back. They're doing consecutive days. That is amazing. Ron, I got to book it, obviously, Ron. But heck yes, my friend. I hope so. You'll be on Odyssey, right? I don't know if I want to say anything about it. But anyway, I hope to see you some point soon, Ron. Let's put it that way. So, just Pamela, if you have an FCC, do you think they will refund you if you can't be vaccinated? I don't believe so. I mean, eventually you'll be able to cruise without one, I think, down the line. But yeah. Yeah, Ron will be on Odyssey. All right, nice. Well, hopefully, Ron, we'll see our paths will cross. Adria, I could do 4 days of Coco Key. I miss it so much. Absolutely, yes. Kathy is enjoying a nice mojito with St. Martin guava berry wild lime in celebration. Nobody does cocktails better than Kathy. Unless you're on a cruise ship and then somebody else does it for you. But I admire that, Kathy. That is awesome. Guys, it's awesome. Now, if you want full details, by the way, I did post not only the news, but also a breakdown of all the different policies that we know about so far over at RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. Like what happens if there's an outbreak on your ship, what is required for you to get on board, a variety of other questions I think a lot of people are wondering. So I have that up there, and I'll be updating that as we go forward. So, Julie wants to know, I wonder if they'll just do an overnight. That's a good question. I would think they'll go to the island, leave to... If they go in international waters, they get to open up the casino and the shops and then come back in the next day. I could be wrong. I'm usually wrong, but Fred, your blog was great today. Thank you. Thank you very much, Fred. Always appreciate that, my friend. So why are we not celebrating the bottle of Kraken? I'm not home right now. I'm in South Carolina, going home tomorrow. Otherwise, there's a good chance that would be the case. I do have a can of beer that I could sip, but it's also kind of always like I sip my beers and it doesn't sound good on stream. So I'll be celebrating after the stream, my friend, to kind of wind down on Friday here. So, Sunny Seed, when do the new bookings open up for Adventure? Next week, the 24th. So, mark your calendars. If you're interested in booking those, I highly recommend you book it as soon as you can. In your opinion, do you think Navigator of the Seas will sail in October? Right now, Lorelei, it seems like it. I mean, listen, I don't know. But I'll tell you that the way things are going right now, I mean, there's a very good chance. Chances are moving in the right direction. Am I still at the Winter Chateau? I'm not. I'm in South Carolina right now. When is the booking open for Navigator? Later this month. I don't think we have an exact date, or I don't remember there's an exact date, but it's later, by the end of this month. So, Aaron, wife wants me to book us on Enchantment November 21 out of Baltimore. Hopefully we'll be selling out of U.S. ports by then. I really hope so, my friend. I absolutely agree 100%. Mike Pastori celebrating in the backyard at the fire pit with a drink. Well, I hope that you, Tiffany, and the chickens are having a great time out there. I wish I was there to hang out with you guys. So, yeah. J Block, wish they'd bring an Oasis class back on. And yeah, that was really interesting. That was probably one of the more interesting aspects is, why did they pick, why Adventure over other ships? But Hey, Julie with the super chat. Thank you, Julie, for our first super chat of the night. Thank you, Julie. Appreciate that. Very, very kind of you. I don't have the whole setup here, but many, many thanks. Thank you, Julie. Appreciate that. Joe, perfect opportunity to sell evening night excursions a perfect day. I would love that idea. I would, if they do an overnight and you can actually get off the ship at night, especially Joe right now with the daylight savings time and it's getting, I would love that idea. I think that's unbelievable. I hope at the very least, Joe, they at least let you stay to like, 7 or 8 o'clock. There's no reason to get, rush back on the ship. John, what are the odds of my cruise going off in September out of the UK? So, it's a good question. I'm glad you brought that earlier today, before all this. I had heard, but this is like third-hand knowledge. So, somebody said it, somebody wrote it down, and that somebody sent it to me. So, I'm giving you third-hand knowledge now. But for what it's worth, Royal Caribbean UK swears up and down that Anthem will sail this summer. Where? From who? I don't know. So, Mike, I have to be careful don't want fried chicken. I think your wife would kill you. If she posts more photos of chickens than you. Will Royal Caribbean only have balcony and above cabins to be in? I know that is definitely the case on Celebrity cruises. That's the other big news today, by the way. Don't forget, Celebrity Millennium will be sailing out of St. Martin. And for about an hour today, guys, I thought I was going on my first Celebrity cruise. Hey, Nick from Singapore. For the cruise on adventure, I know we need to be vaccinated, but do we still need to serve SNH? I don't know what SNH is, Nick. You just have to be vaccinated and have a negative test within 72 hours of sailing. Pippa, do you think the USA CDC will get on board and the second part of the year goes well? I hope so. I like to think yes, Pippa. I mean, I'll be honest with you, I would have thought this would have happened already, quite frankly, but, Kathy, right on your blog, want to make sure I'm understanding. So you have to have a negative test to go on a cruise and test negative again when the cruise starts. I believe so, that's the case, yes. And, of course, be fully vaccinated before the cruise. Will cruise line excursions be the only way to get off? I don't know yet. What's interesting, J Block, is Celebrity said, and this is now giving you more third-hand knowledge, but I heard Celebrity said that it won't be the case. Jennifer Kellum from MEI Travel is here. How are you, Jennifer? Kathy, are you going to require reservations for the casino and shows? Are they going to require? I don't believe so. In Adventure, that's never been the case. So I could be wrong. Don't forget, Kathy, limited capacity. So it's not going to, did I say Kathy? Yeah. It will be limited capacity, so it will not be the full thing over there. Hey, Sunny Seed with the super chat. Thank you, Sunny Seed. Appreciate that. Very kind of you. Kevin J says, today's news makes me feel a lot better for my October Oasis cruise. Absolutely. I'm going to get a bottle of water, guys. Hang on a second. I'm parched, but I want to keep talking to you guys for a little longer. So I don't want to be like, passing out on you or starting to get wheezy. Just give me 2 seconds. I'll be right back. I'm right here. I'm just getting a bottle of water. Oh no, I do have a bottle of water right here. Got Royal Caribbean blog water. My wife made this. Oops. Sorry about that. Mask will be required, yes, except when you're eating or in your stateroom. So, got to keep hydrated, no question, and not drop your phone on the... Tony, start praying to Joby that Norway happens, brother. I'm excited. If things go the way they are going, Tony, I'll be cruising a lot in June and July. So I feel seasick. Yeah, my wife made this one. It's she made it on her Cricket, I believe. So Sharon Stockman, there she is. The reason for the season of Cruise Chat. Sharon Stockman with the epic super chat. Woo! Sharon says, thank you for all you've done over the past year. Sharon, thank you for the inspiration. Sharon sent me an email and said, hey, we should go live today. I'm like, Sharon's right. Absolutely. Yeah, get jealous again. Wake up the wife. Time to get jealous. Mike says, will Royal Caribbean offer pre-post night hotel packages in Bahamas? Yes, I believe they will. I thought I read that. I don't know that anything is like formulated yet, but I believe they'll offer something for you on that. That's how that he just stood on his head, right? Yeah, sorry about dropping the phone on there, but we are here. But it's and if I missed your message, if I missed your comment, your question, please feel free to retype it in chat. Happy. Marvin, yes, they will. You will be required to wear masks on the ship. There will still be testing on the ship. Hey, Nathan, thank you for the super chat. Virtual cheers to cruising coming back. I don't think you're supposed to toast to water, but cheers, Nathan. Appreciate that, buddy. Tastes good. So, hey, Mark Paul, crew here. Now, Mark, can I ask, are you on a ship right now, or are you planning on getting back aboard? That's fantastic. Cricket, our wives would get along really well, I'm sure. My wife loves that thing. Will they require vaccinations? They will, Mark. For anyone 18 and above, yes. Lisa, just got in. Don't apologize. For July 2021, must be vaccinated out of Texas? No, that has not been confirmed, Lisa. So let's be very clear on that. Out of Texas, out of Galveston. No changes yet. Cruises in July are not canceled yet. It remains to be seen if they'll sail or not. But Royal Caribbean has not said if you'll require a vaccine for those sailings. Right now, there's only 2 ships right now that require vaccines. Odyssey of the Seas and Adventure of the Seas. Beyond that, nothing else has been decided yet. Tom Jode, hello. Baba Gonzalez, I'm going to cruise on Singapore and Quantum. That's fantastic. That's a great ship to sail on, and a lot of people, including Nick is in here, has been on there. Jennifer Clark, my wedding on Mariner is March 2022, and it looked like the only sailing date not affected by the redeployment changes. I was losing my mind the other day when the changes were announced. Oh man, talk about threading the needle there, right? Wow. Pippa says, room service is great, but the wait will be long. Yeah, that can be the case. You're not wrong on that. Harvey says, I have a Sky Suite booked on Harmony for my wife's 50th on Harmony. We have a large group going. Do you think it will happen? I don't think anyone really knows, Harvey, like definitively if it'll happen, but November's a long while away. There's a lot of good reason to believe your cruise will be happening because, again, so much positive stuff is happening right now in terms of momentum, numbers, COVID numbers down, vaccines up, all those things. So, let's see here. We can just get rid of that guy. Thank you. Kimberly, when do you think cruising is fully coming back? If by fully you mean every ship in the fleet, like basically 2019, every ship that can cruise, will cruise, I think you're probably looking at sometime in 2022, maybe even 23 in some places, who knows? But certainly that's at least 2022 at the very least. Beyond that, I'm not sure. I've seen some predictions out there from various sources. Some people think, it'll be like, end of 22, mid 22. I don't know, but certainly I think sometime next year is a safe bet. So. Mylea says, any thoughts as to when the vaccine mandate might lift? I would suspect at a point where COVID is not a thing. Like it's just, it's so minute of a threat in the public eye that it doesn't even register. If that makes sense. Like I'm trying to think of like it's kind of like how Zika virus is. Remember when Zika virus was a big deal and everyone's like, oh my god, not quite on the same level of COVID. Don't get me wrong. I'm not comparing the two. But now, if someone says, hey, Matt, I'm worried about Zika virus, you'd be like, everyone kind of like snickering, like, really? Like, that's a concern? I think when the conversation gets to that level, or certainly the numbers back it up, then that'll be the case. Paul says, do you think they wanted to make this announcement as their big announcement out of the Western Cruise? Yes. 1,000% yes. There's no doubt in my mind, Paul. And I'm going to tell you why. Number one, Celebrity scheduled their call with almost the exact same, you won't want to miss this kind of hype the day after. And obviously that was scheduled for today. So on Thursday it came out and everyone's like, all right, here we go again. And obviously the news for both Celebrity and Royal came out today. I have no doubt in my mind that was the news there. Sharon, are you booking the first cruise out of the Bahamas? Yes. In fact, my plan right now, and I'm about to jinx myself, but my plan right now is to book the first 2 sailings back to back. Adventure of the Seas. Tony Diaz, are you listening? Back to back. That's the plan. I already booked my flights, Sharon. That's how on board I am with this. Adriana, sorry if you already answered this. Don't ever apologize for asking questions. I love answering the same question again. But will you book on new adventure sailings out of Nassau? Yes, absolutely. I would love to. I wouldn't hesitate one bit. Kimberly, what will the situation with masks be? Same as like on Quantum of the Seas, Kimberly. Masks will be required on board the ship, except in certain places like when you're dining, in your stateroom, if you're in the pool, things like that. Nick, do you think the double points will be extended? Good question. Don't know. I know they extended the date you can book it by, but not the date it sail by, if that makes sense, by a month. So, Pippa says outstanding back-to-back. It's just, listen, if you're gonna go big or go home, right? It has been a year without cruises. I gotta make up for lost time. I told you guys I was gonna make up for lost time. Here I am. Valerie, Oasis, Port Canaveral, November. Do I think it will sail? Don't know. We'll have to wait and see on that one. So, Ox, can you use the 125 on future cruise credit on a cruise and a flight? Cruise, yes. I don't know if you can use it for a flight like through air to sea. I guess you could because it goes on your reservation. I don't know. Jennifer Kellner, are you still here from MEI Travel? Do you know? I've never even thought about that. That's an excellent question. NBA Celtics 9. Thank you for the super chat. Shabbat shalom to you. What is the check-in age? Would it be 18 since it's out of the U.S.? No, for adventure, any age. Or do you mean the check? Like you mean like you want to cruise by yourself? You're 18 years old. I don't know. I don't think there's any change, COVID or not. But I think you have to be 21 to go on a cruise in a room by yourself, like your parent, like no one else is on there with you. You know what I mean? But if your question is like, can people cruise? Like kids can go on the cruise, they just have to go with obviously adults, if that makes sense. You're 19. I don't remember the rule, and I apologize. I should know that rule. I don't know it off the top of my head. In terms of, yeah, Jennifer says 21 unless Europe, 18 there. Thank you, Jennifer. Appreciate that. Thank you. And Beachman, if you don't mind me asking, what's an average price for flights for Nassau? It was expensive, I got to admit, which made the decision to do a back-to-back a little bit better because at least we're going for 2 cruises. It was like $240 a person from Orlando, which is ridiculous because the flight is like 90 minutes, maybe closer to like 60. That was on JetBlue. And I looked at actually American out of Miami. It wasn't any cheaper. It's just one of those flights where there's not a lot of volume, I think, but it's also pretty early. We're in March. The prices could change a lot. But that's what I paid. I just wanted to get it. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't going to be locked out of there. And it's JetBlue, so if I want to cancel it, I don't mind getting JetBlue credit. So, Tony Diaz, since it's your first cruise back, you get no hating from me, even with the back-to-back. All right, it's good to hear, man. Good to hear. That's 18 in Australia as well. Yeah, so NBA Celtics, it sounds like you're not going to be able to book it by yourself. You'd have to have someone who's at least 21. Do we know the dates yet for NASA? We know that it'll begin June 12th. Beyond that, no, we don't. But of course, it's 7-night sailing. So just do the math, June 12th, and start counting every 7 nights, and you pretty much can figure it out there. Quincy from LA, I saw 400. Well, listen, if it's 400 from LA and I'm paying like 240 from Orlando, that's really not that much. That's not that bad actually. When you think about the sliding scale, like you would think it'd be like 2,000, but it's 240, 400. I'm trying to sell you on it, Quincy. Do we know what other ships are in America waiting for brilliance of the seas? What do you mean, Thomas? It's a good question, but I'm not sure what you mean exactly by in America. There's a number of ships all stationed around the world, if that's your question. Did a video not too long ago talking about the where the ships are. Beverly, what's your prediction for any July 20 cruises from? I have no idea, Beverly. I mean, to have a prediction, you really need like data to like back it up. I mean, it's kind of like asking me to flip a coin. I feel like flipping a coin has an equal chance of being right. You know what I mean? I don't want to mislead you. I really don't know. How can we do a recap of what this video is about? Yes, absolutely. So, starting in June, Adventure of the Seas will start cruising from Nassau, Bahamas. She'll be offering 7-night sailings. Cruises go on sale next week. LSU Tigers. Hey, I apologize for missing. I saw you said hello earlier from Texas, and I apologize for missing that. But LSU Tigers, good to see you, buddy. What's your prediction for January 2022 cruising? Hopefully a lot more ships than today. But I really don't have predictions because I just don't want to mislead. I really don't know more than you guys do in this. So Kathy looked up flights from Newark for about $400 a person. I wonder, Kathy, just for funsies, if you looked up out of LaGuardia, or not LaGuardia, sorry, out of JFK, if it would be any different, but I don't think so. Also, airfare is a bit of a game, you know what I mean, in terms of timing it and whatnot. So there is no estimated date for ship space in America. Jay, where are you saying in Nassau before the cruise? I think we haven't decided yet, Jay. I was looking at that. Thought maybe Bahamas might be a good opportunity to check that out. There's a Holiday Inn that's pretty nice. You know, we're not doing a whole lot. We're not gonna be like going crazy. We just want to get in, sleep, and then, try to sleep, and then go on the cruise. Sharon, I've not been vaccinated yet. That's need to get that taken care of. So, can you recap again? Absolutely. For you, Danny, Absolutely, my friend. So, Adventure of the Seas will be sailing from Nassau in June. I need like a little ticker tape or like on the bottom, like you have like on news channels. Adventure of the Seas will be sailing from Nassau, Bahamas in June. You have to be fully vaccinated. It's available if you're 18 or above. Kids below 18, totally okay. They're just gonna be tested to come on board the ship. The new sailings go on sale beginning next week. And obviously, Adventure will not be sailing in Europe this summer. So those cruises are canceled. Those are the only ones there. We don't know the capacity yet. There will be limited capacity, Jason. It's probably around 50%. I would say between 40 and 60, but don't know yet the exact numbers. But there'll be 7-night sailings. They'll be going to Cozumel, Perfect Day, Coco Key, 2 stops at Perfect Day, Coco Key, and Freeport. $350 from Kansas. I mean, it's not a terrible price. It's not cheap. It's not like $50 or anything like that. You know what I mean? It's great if you can get a good price there. That is ridiculous to see CDC dragging their feet on the new guidelines. I agree 100%, man. Listen, I think I've been very, what's the word? Flexible with all of this, but I think it's getting a little ridiculous. Did you book your flights at MEI as well? I did not. I booked my flights on my own. For most flights, it's usually pretty easy to do on my own. I'm also very picky about my flights. But international is a little, this is an international flight, but it's JetBlue. I'm not really worried about it. You know what I mean? But usually I do go through my MEI travel agent just to make it a lot easier. So, days with haze. Are masks needed even with the vaccine because the CDC said that people that are fully vaccinated can be around each other without masks? Correct. Masks are required because for a lot of it is just honestly for safety, abundance of safety. Because as you guys know, that the vaccine is very effective, but it's not 100% effective. And certainly that's what they're kind of looking at. JetBlue 249 from Nashville. Listen, if I wasn't afraid of flying, that's it's cheaper for you to fly from Nashville than it is for me from Orlando. Explain that to me. That's really cheap. Jay, you're winning right now, my friend. JetBlue Providence and Nassau 268. It's a great price, Mitch. I mean, that's about the same price I'm paying right now. 261 Fort Lauderdale. See, that's crazy expensive, Adriana. And I looked at that. I looked at Fort Lauderdale, looked at Miami. On American, it's crazy. No, there's a Fort Lauderdale. Fort Lauderdale has a ferry that goes to Freeport, not Nassau. They're on different islands, so that wouldn't help you. You'd still have to get from Freeport to Nassau. I did think about that as well, because that would be kind of fun to do, you know? Switzerland says, is the vaccine requirement a temporary measure until things calm down? Yes. To some extent, the answer is yes. I mean, I think so. I think Royal Caribbean has even said that as much. How temporary? No one knows the answer to that. Delta's 403. Aye. That's crazy. Yeah, no, Adriana, JetBlue is not a bad price. The nice thing, at least if you're flying an airline that you usually fly, like JetBlue or Delta or American, if you're American, obviously, is that, you know, if you had to cancel the flight, at least you know you could use that credit again. As opposed to like if you're doing a flight to Europe and you're flying KLM or Lufthansa, you'll never fly them that much, right? So it really wouldn't make a whole lot of sense. So, Jason Schumacher, Royal Caribbean going to provide testing on board in order to get back to the U.S.? The CDC won't consider that an official test, but I think that data will help, certainly. Yeah, Steve Cohen, I agree 100% with you, my friend. So, I think we've almost been on for about an hour now. It's crazy. But I am so excited about this. It really is a pinch me. I was walking around tonight. We went out to walk around the waterfront here, and I really had a couple of moments where I'm like, did I dream this up? Is this really happening? And yes, it is. So, and I bet you guys, when we go live next Monday, because we're live every Monday here on YouTube, I bet you we're going to have a whole new set of information and data, new things to know that we don't know today. So it's going to be very much a learning process along the way. Bev, you could probably hire a private person to sail free Nassau for less than the flight. Probably true. Pretty close anyway. So, Rick says, how long are they going to be sailing out of the port? The beginning of June, and it goes through, oh gosh, guys, help me out. I don't remember. I wrote on the blog. Is it August? I should know that. I apologize. Jamie, have you heard anything about President Biden thinking about letting cruises start? Not specifically that, Jamie, but I did read about an hour or two ago that evidently they're going to be loosening up travel restrictions. I don't know if that'll apply to cruises or not, Jamie, but I did read that. So, the JetBlue gods are going to raise the price on this surge in price checks. Listen, I did book the flight, Nathan, in part because I thought prices would go up. There's not that many flights. it stands to reason that would be the case. So airline pricing is a lot like cruise pricing. The more people that book it, the higher the prices tend to go. So I figured, you know what? Let me just lock it in, be done with it. Yeah, it's like I can take my Wave Rider from Miami to Nassau for $50 in fuel. Love that. Oh man. June through August. Thank you, Jennifer. Yeah, for some reason, because I think Celebrity's going through, they're going later, right? Yeah, that's confusing me. So, Jason says, so to get back in the U.S., the protocols are still in place. We go rogue to find a test after we arrive back to find a test and get results before we go home. Yeah, you need to provide a test in order to get back into the country in the U.S. to fly back in. Whether I believe Royal Caribbean may provide that for you to get off the ship, which may satisfy. I believe if I'm remember, I wrote this all down at RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. As I recall, the rule would be to get on the cruise, you need to pay for the PCR test or whatever test you need to get. But Royal Caribbean provides a test on the end. At the end, I could be wrong on that. I thought I read that. I thought I wrote that down on the blog. I did. There's a lot of transcribing going on today, so. Yeah, Cruise Action Celebrity starts earlier. They start June 5th. Paul, what ports will you visit? Cozumel, Freeport, Bahamas, Grand Bahama Island, and 2 days, at Perfect Day at Coco Key. 5 minutes till Rutgers, gotta go. Mentally prepare. Nice, Kathy. Enjoy. Good luck to you. Hope the Scarlet Knights do well and beat up whoever you're playing there. So, how's the pier in Nassau, Fred? I have no idea. It's a good question. We'll figure that out. All right, guys, I've been going live here for an hour. My kids have been very good being quiet over there, so I'm going to let them loose again. We'll be live again on Monday, so come check us out on Monday, as usual, on our usual time. Very exciting news. What a great weekend. Hope you all have a great weekend. Stay safe out there. Do something fun, like maybe booking a cruise. And we're going to be talking soon very much about real cruises again coming up. In not only this coming week, but in lots more coverage coming for you guys. So check it out. Have a great night, everybody. Thank you, guys. See ya. Danny DiMatteo. Well, I'm not going anywhere. Danny with the super chat. Thank you, Matt. Much appreciated. Well, Danny, thank you for the super chat. Keeping us going here for another minute. Really appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And yes, we'll be back in our usual studio on Monday. Where did the cruise in summer 2021 go? We don't know yet. We'll have to wait and see. Last second super chat. Got to work it in right there. All right, guys. Have a great one. Thank you again, Danny. Thank you, everybody. Thank you to all our super chatters this evening. Really appreciate it. Guys, have a great rest of your weekend. Enjoy. We'll see you guys soon. Bye, everyone.